she's just so amazing. We decided to take it to the next level, and here we are today celebrating, Folawale 2021. I am so excited.
I really like you, and it's true. There is only one, just you. I find it hard to say, I wish you knew. I am on your Instagram all day, stalking you. You in my life is all I'm hoping for. If you go be mine, dear, now forevermore. I won't talk my mind and say how I feel inside, but I fear you won't feel the same for me. Oh, if she loves me, hallelujah. If she says she loves me, hallelujah. Oh, when she loves me, hallelujah. If she says she loves me, hallelujah.
I am Folakemi, proud to be
Eluwale Matthew Elushinyo from Ile Ife. Folakemi Mefoworola Ugwate. I met her in church actually.
Wow, it's quite unconventional. I met him at a concert in my church. He was the guest artist. We usually invite guest artists for that program. It holds every December, and I was in charge of, calling guest artists, following them up, and all that. So he was one of them. Got him through my cousin. Got his contact through my cousin who attends the same church as him.
I remember she had a program with with the youth in church back 4 years ago, to be precise, and they needed a saxophonist to minister for that program that night. So she reached out to me through her cousin, Dr. Eson.
He came on board, but that night was quite dramatic because he didn't arrive on time, and I was like, trying to. I had not met him before that time, but I'd heard of him. People had told me about him and advised that we invite him, and So on that day, I didn't know who he was, so it was quite difficult for me to recognize him among the crowd. But I noticed the ushers led him to the front, so I asked one of them to ask him to meet me outside just to confirm who he was.
Actually, I got to the venue somehow late because I had to attend the event during that day, so I finished somehow late, and eventually a child got to the venue. So I saw her outside, and she was like, because that was the first time we were meeting, and she was like, "Are you Wole Sax?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." I knew I was late, and of course she knew I was late too. But for her to tell me that I was already late was an issue. But lo and behold, I shall minister that night.
Okay, yeah, so that night we did a French song, and I was looking at his expression when we were singing. It was kind of surprised, amused and amazed at the same time. So after the event, we met. I followed him up, just to check on him, to thank him for coming. And
from that moment, after the ministration, she came to meet me, and she was like, "Oh, that was awesome." I said, "Oh, thank God," blah blah blah. And the next day, I think she put a call through to me, appreciating me for the ministration and all of that, and that was how the journey began actually, and we became friends. So it was later that I got to know that she studied French. So, and me, I'm a French lover. So I decided to have her as my tutor.
Um, he started chatting me up and he said he wanted to learn French. We met him, then he asked me to come to his friend's studio. He did one class, but he didn't continue.
As my coach. So we fixed a time for us to meet, actually, to start the lesson. So although that was the first and the last time we actually had the class, because I couldn't cope with the whole French thing. So we became friends and all of that.
And then, from that time we stopped. I stopped seeing him. Like we were not seeing, but once in a while he would chat me up just to ask me how I was, just to greet me and all that. So fast forward to 2017, he needed a job done, like a transition job done, and he remembered that someone named Folakemi was somewhere. So he contacted me for the job. Not a job, but it was just like a favor. So I helped him with it, and after the translation, after I did the favor for him, did the work for him, I thought that since the job was done, we stopped talking, but he still kept the communication open.
And after a while, she traveled. She had to go for her masters, and to God be the glory. At some point, because the friendship kept on growing, and at some point we just knew that God was telling us to just take it to the next level, because I was so convinced, with the peace of mind, about her.
Talking, becoming closer, and that's it. Then he asked me to asked me out or marry him. Yeah, that was it. That was how the relationship started. That was in 2017, around July 2017. Yes or no. The way he was talking, I knew, he was up to something. And before then I'd prayed, when he contacted me, I kind of know that something like that was going to happen, but, I just kept an open mind. So when he asked, I wouldn't say I was really surprised. I really wasn't. But I needed to take some time to pray about it. And it was over the phone, because by the time we got connected the second time, I was already out of the country. So all our communications from 2017 up till now has been on the phone. So he proposed on the phone. It was not until I came back home that he did like the face-to-face, normal, conventional proposal that everybody knows about, that everybody likes.
She's just so amazing. What actually interests me most about her is the fact that she's just cool. She doesn't have any wala. She doesn't give me stress. And she's this kind of person that when you tell her that this is the way it should be done, it is just the way it is. And another thing that I love so much about her is the fact that she's a child of God. She prays a lot. She's indeed a child of God. She prays a lot, and anytime she prays, I see results of her prayers. When she prays, I get the result. That's the truth. I remember when when she came into my life. I've never been outside this country before. When she came into my life, to the glory of God, I've been to several places, including Brazil, UK. I've been to couple of places. And I know this is not the final destination, so we're still going fast, we're still going places. So I knew where I was before she came into my life. I know where I am today, and I know where I'm going to. I know where God is taking us to.
It's been great, it's been amazing. And I would say that his commitment his tenacity has actually, like, apart from the God factor, apart from, I would call it divine connection and all that, his own commitment basically has inspired mine, and has actually made the whole relationship very interesting. And it's been very interesting and adventurous. We quarrel sometimes, we disagree sometimes, but I see in him that he really wants this, and he like inspired me. I want it, like, yeah, we're in love with each other and all that, but love is not enough. So his own commitment inspired mine in a way, kind of lighted mine up, and it's been amazing. Him has been very amazing, and he's a very lovely person, very transparent. He's someone who loves peace, and like he would like sacrifice, his own rights, just to have that. And he's very understanding, caring, extra caring, over caring. He's very understanding, he's very caring, fun-loving, he likes people, and he's very respectful. Like, even apart from me, I watch the way he relates with people, with his younger ones, his elder ones, his older, siblings, people around him generally. Like, he's a very respectful person, very kind. Very kind. He loves children. He's a lot. It's like, it's not someone you can, like, describe in one sitting like that, but generally he's a very kind person, very loving man, very understanding. Yeah. The challenge was the distance. Like, if anything causes like quarrel or misunderstanding, you can trace it back to the distance. Like, it's either we don't have time to talk, or I didn't pick my calls when I was supposed to. Yeah, it's all traceable to the distance. Like, I particularly had to step up. Before, I wasn't someone that likes to, that knows how to keep a conversation going, for a long time. And I'm not really very good at chatting and talking over the phone. But now it got to a point that I saw that this is not about me anymore. Like, we are two in this. If I have to make this work, I have to step up my communication skills, communication game rather. So on his own side, there was no problem because he was committed. He's someone that knows what he wants and goes for it. Like, even from the first time he proposed, he didn't go, he went straight to the point. So he's someone that knows what he wants and goes for it. So he was committed because he knew from the beginning. He knows that he wants this. He was committed. There has never been a break in communication and all that. So I had to step up my game to his own level. And I've not even met the level. So the basic thing we did to overcome the challenge rather, is stepping up in our communication. And yeah, being, that's it. I think communicate. The solution to a long distance relationship is good communication and understanding. Yeah, understanding. There are some things it was really hard about that he had to understand. Number one, we're not in the same time difference. So he had to like understand that, and now he has to calculate, okay, what time will it be at this time. So he on his part he was understanding, on my part is stepping up my communication game, and now it's not a problem as it used to be.
Plenty. Oh. I call her Big Head. I call her my peace. That's the first name is my peace. I call her Big Head. Sometimes I call her Smile too. I call her Darling, Sweetie. I call her so many names, But the most powerful name I call her the more. I mean, the most. My peace.
Yeah, I don't call him Big Head. He's the one that calls me that. But I call him Beau. That's a French word and it means handsome. So I call him Mr. Handsome. I call him Love because I call him Love, not like the reason I call him like Love as a name, because he's like love personified. He's very romantic. He's this lovey kind of person, and yeah, because he kind of interprets love to me. It doesn't just say I love you. Like, he acts it, he shows it, he lives it. So I just call him that. So those are just the two names. I call him Love and I call him Handsome, Mr. Handsome.
Well, I expect her to be better than I met her, a better version of herself. I expect her to keep living a purpose-driven life, like she has been. I want her to be more hot for God, even more than I met her. And I want her to be a good wife, an understanding wife that she has always been. And I want her to be less stubborn. Because Folakemi, especially when that thing is right. When that thing is right, she would be like, no, this is the right thing. And trust me, when Folakemi tells you this is the right thing, and you do otherwise, trust me, you will still come back to what that thing she said.
Yeah, not so much. He's already a great guy. He's already an amazing person. He loves God. I just want him. I want him to get closer. I want him to love God more. Like, I don't want him to stop loving God and being committed to God. And he has a very bright future in his career path, music, events, media. And I really want to support him in that line. I want him to get better in that. And I want him to be a good father, but I already know he will be. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, by God's grace. He's already a good person, so I just want him to keep being good, keep being who he is and improving. Nothing too serious. I'm trying to do a lot of funny moments. Okay. There was something that he did that was very funny. There were a lot, but this one was like really very funny. So, like, my wedding dress, he wants to know what it looks like, but I've been saying no, I've been hiding my wedding dress for him. He's been begging. So one day he begged to a point, he was like, we are one. That really cracked me up. Like, he was so gentle. He was like, just to get me to show him. We are one. Show me now. I'm like, no, we're not one yet. Until they join us together. Like, that was really funny. But there are a lot of, funny events. I really can't, we've not been together. So, like, well, we always laugh when we're together and all that. But that one I can't forget because the way he said it and,
I see the way